What up? It's your boy Anon, and today today this will be considered part 2 of my overall review on J.Cole's KOD album, and why I think that it's not gonna have a big of an impact as it should. I'm not saying that it shouldn't have a big impact, but I feel like it shouldn't. I mean that it won't for multiple reasons. All right, now I know this is kind of cliche to do, but I would consider KOD to be J. Cole's To Pimp a Butterfly. The reason I would do that is because when you look at To Pimp a Butterfly, it was Kendrick-esque delivery. Kendrick has always, in my opinion, been the type of guy who can use the modern mainstream sound and use it to make his messages. J. Cole, of course, does that too, but Kendrick, Don't Kill My Vibe, All Right, like it's a modern sounding song, but it's talking about modern events. You know what I'm saying? It's not just brag raps or anything like that. And the way To Pimp a Butterfly worked was it had those modern sounding songs sprinkled in there with the message, but it also had a different sound than what was modern at the same time. It had funk samples, jazz samples, different things. It had different sound than anything that came out in that year. And it was a great album, and it had a message, but the message didn't last long. The album didn't have much replayability after a while. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why a lot of people say, oh yeah, To Pimp a Butterfly is one of the greatest albums of all time. And that's a classic. Like, yeah, it's a classic, but did it really do what it should have? Damn did what To Pimp a Butterfly should have done. Kendrick just won a Pulitzer for the Damn album when he should have won it for To Pimp a Butterfly. But To Pimp a Butterfly didn't connect. It didn't do what it should have because it was more, it was hidden messages with a mixture of in your face, and it was also kind of personal. Like, it had it's a very, very deep album. And some people, no offense, but some people in the modern listeners of hip hop aren't into things that are mega deep, or they are in that mood for the moment until it wears off. And I want to say KOD is the same thing. KOD is in a very similar way to Pimp a Butterfly. I don't think KOD is as good as To Pimp a Butterfly, or should be considered J. Cole's best album, in my personal opinion. But it has the same, I wouldn't say vibes, but it is similar. The biggest songs on KOD right now is ATM, and I want to say I like the song. The biggest songs are songs that I felt were the best songs. I like. Let me think. Cut Off. I like both the songs of Killer Edward because I just like his voice. ATM and something else I can't remember right now, but ATM seems to be the biggest song, and it's a good song, but it's the song that fits the modern sound of music right now. When it comes to the other songs on the album, I'm not saying they're not good, but will they last? ATM is going to last for, I would say, a good couple of months. It's going to die down because another song is going to overdo it. Drake's dropping next month. Kanye's dropping next month. Forget Kanye. J. Cole dropped at the right time where he still has a good enough space to where the other big stars ain't going to take his spotlight. So he got a good, I would say, month and a half left that he can stay where he at. But with Motivate being the only song that seems to really be doing stuff, I feel like KOD is not going to be in a lot of people. It may be, they have a lot of J. Cole fans, but I don't feel I'm going to personally put KOD in my album of the year or in my top 5 albums of the year. I've only listened to about 4. I've listened to Cardi B album, Prime 2, Logic's Bobby Tarantino 2. I feel like Culture 2 came out this year. I wouldn't say those are in my top 5, but those are the only albums I've listened to this year. But of course, by the end of the year, I'm going to listen to enough albums to pick my top 5. I do not feel personally KOD is going to be in a lot of people's top 5 albums of the year. I feel like by September, maybe even August, people ain't even gonna remember J. Cole dropped KOD. That's how I feel personally. I feel personally people are gonna kind of, I wouldn't say forget about the album, but it's gonna be an album that people are gonna start coming to their senses about. Right now, it's, well, for the last 2 weeks, it's been kind of buzz heavy of, oh yeah, J. Cole dropped some fire, hip hop really needed that right now. Like, yeah, it was what hip hop needed right now. But in 2 months, people are going to forget everything that you said on your album and go back to doing what you have told them not to do. You know what I'm saying? This is no disrespect to J. Cole. I like J. Cole. I think he's a good rapper. I never really said I would never really say I'm a fan of any rapper, even though that's a lie. But I wouldn't say I'm a J. Cole fan, but I like J. Cole's music. I think J. Cole makes good music. I listen to his, I'm a casual listener of J. Cole, I should say. Maybe that's the best way to describe it. I do not think J. Cole is bad. I do not dislike J. Cole, but I'm just saying I see the climate. I watch how things move, how things maneuver when it comes to when big artists put semi-deep or deep albums out. It's good. It's deep for the moment, but what is the longevity of that album? To Pimp a Butterfly is still brought up in conversation for being a great album, but I have yet to hear anybody, even me personally, I like To Pimp a Butterfly, and I don't really listen to any song from To Pimp a Butterfly. I still like Wesley's Theory. That's when that song come on, but I need to find it again. I do not have it on my phone. I had it on my old phone, but I had to buy a new one. I like Wesley's Theory. All right, well, of course, it was a good song, but I don't hear people really playing To Pimp a Butterfly. Like some artists, have some music from old albums that people will still play in regular rotation. I don't hear many people saying they bumped into Pimp a Butterfly right now. And I feel that it will be the same with J. Cole. Of course, that doesn't mean the album was bad. I think the album was good. I just don't think it's J. Cole's best album, and I do not think that it's going to be an album that is going to be in people's top 5. Like, what was last top 5? My top 5 is most people's top 5 was Damn, 444. Like 444, of course, that was a deep album, but it was different. It is one of the pioneer. I won't say pioneer, but one of the elder rappers spitting grown man bars. It was for grown people in a sense. J. Cole's audience and the people who J. Cole attracts aren't the exact same people that JayZ attracts. And that's why I feel it's not going to work. JayZ can drop grown man music because there are men, my dad is one of them, who almost came up with JayZ. Not really came up with JayZ, but my dad was, however, he was 20 or whatever when JayZ came out. So my dad's now in his 40s, JayZ's in his 40s. It keeps JayZ's audience, you know what I'm saying? And it works that way because there are people who want to hear this stuff, who've been JayZ fans for a long time. Even modern people, a lot of JayZ's fans are grown, so this album works for them. J. Cole, on the other hand, makes, as Maul said from Joe Budden podcast, dorm music. J. Cole makes kind of music that goes towards 15, maybe even 16 to college graduate type music. So if you're making an album telling people, kind of, I wouldn't say make it fun, but satirically talking about drugs and money, the things that most colleges are all about. They learn and they party, drink, do their drugs, and they try and find however way they can to get money. That's not all of it, but that album is pretty much, I would say attacking your audience, but your audience is a certain group of people, and your album is based on some things that your audience may already participate in. You know what I'm saying? But that's it for me. I know I've been going a little long, but this is just my second half. It's not 30 minutes like the last review, and of course it'll probably be edited down a little bit shorter, but that's it for me. I'm out. Too sweet. Deuces.